welcome you to today's discussion, and today we are going to look at the fruits. We shall talk about the fruits, and we shall see the main groups of the fruits. We shall talk about also one of the types of the groups. First of all, a fruit is a structure which develop as a result of fertilization and contains seed. That is what we refer to as a fruit. A structure which develops as a result of fertilization and contains seed. That is a fruit. It is after fertilization that the fruit develops, and the fruit contains the seeds. So we want to look at the main groups of fruits. We want to talk about the main groups of fruits. We have three main groups of fruits, and one of the groups is the simple fruit. A simple fruit is formed from one flower, and the pistil consists of one carpel. That means that we can refer to it as monocarpous. It has one carpel, and fruit is developed from one flower. It can also have several fused carpels. The fruit may have come from several fused carpels, and if the fruit came from several fused carpels, then we refer to it as cyanocarpous. If it came from one carpel, then we call it monocarpous. That is the simple fruit. Then we have the aggregate fruits. Aggregate fruits, these ones are formed from one flower. They are formed from one flower and a pistil with several free carpels. It can be formed from one flower with a pistil. A pistil is the female part of the flower. It can be having several free carpels which are coming together and they form one fruit. That one we can call it apocarpous. We call that one apocarpous. If at all it is formed from several fruits, a fruit is formed from several free carpels. That one we call it apocarpous, and it is the aggregative fruit. We have another fruit which is the multiple fruit. A multiple fruit is formed from several flowers. Many flowers come together, but these flowers, the ovaries become fused after fertilization. So it is a multiple fruit because it is formed from several flowers and the ovaries become fused after fertilization. So those are the three main groups of the fruits. We have looked at the simple fruits, we have talked about the aggregative fruits, and then also the multiple fruits. Now we want first of all to go into detail about the simple fruits. We want to discuss about the simple fruits. You'll find that majority of the fruits fall in the simple fruits. Remember, we say that a simple fruit is one which is formed from one flower and a pistil consisting of one carpel, which is a monocarpous, or several carpels, which we call cyanocarpous. So a simple fruit, it has three major groups. There are three major groups in simple fruits. We have the dry indehiscent fruit, then we have the dry dehiscent fruit, and then the succulent fruits. Those are the three types of single fruits. We want now to go into detail with the dry indehiscent fruit. A dry indehiscent fruit, this is a fruit that does not split. They are fruits that do not split to release the seeds. And one of the dry indehiscent fruit is the urchin. Urchin consists of one seed surrounded by a dry pellicup, and the pellicup does not spread. And the examples that we have in the urchin are the sunflowers. You'll find that it has one seed which is surrounded by a dry pellicup. A pellicup is the outermost covering of the fruit, and this pellicup does not spread to release the seeds. That is the urchin type of dry indehiscent fruit. And the example that we have there is the sunflower, which has a pellicup which is strong, that does not split, and the inside it has seeds. Then another dry indehiscent fruit are the nuts. Nuts consist of one seed surrounded by a dry pellicup, and the pellicup is very hard. The pellicup is very hard and rough. Those are the nuts. All of us, we have ever seen or heard of the cashew nut. These ones are made or consist of one seed which is surrounded by a very dry and very rough pellicup, which pellicup does not spread. Those are the nuts. They are strong fruit coats and they have seeds, one seed in each fruit. And coat, the pellicup does not split into to release the seeds. Then we have another one which we call the Colopsis. Colopsis is another type of dry indehiscent fruits, and the Colopsis, the pericarp and the seed coat are fused together. The pellicup and the seed coat become fused together. And the example of the Colopsis, we have the maize. You'll find that in maize, the pellicup and the seed coat have become fused. So that one is a dry indehiscent fruit, and they do not open up or they do not spread to release the fruit. Then another one is the Chipsella. Here you find that the calyx of inferior ovary persist to form a parachute of hair like the pampas. The calyx of the inferior ovary persisted to form a parachute of hair, which we refer to as the pampas. And this one is very common in Biden pilosa. Biden pilosa, it's where you find that there are those pampas. This is a type of fruit which we call also as Colopsis. And the other one, the last one, which I will talk about, we are going to discuss about today, is the Samara. For the Samara, the pericarp extended to form a wing. That is in the Samara. The pericarp just extended to form a wing, and a wing which is formed, we can find this one in Plerococcus, telcarpus. It's a type of fruit whereby the pericarp just extends and forms a wing. So we have looked at the fruits, and at the beginning we say that a fruit is a structure which develops as a result of fertilization and contains seed. We have also seen the main groups of the fruits, which we say that we have simple fruits, and then we have aggregate fruits. Also we have the multiple fruits. And we have seen that the simple fruits, mainly they are divided into three groups: the dry indehiscent fruits, fruits that do not spread, and then there are also dry dehiscent fruits which spread, and then the succulent fruits which are fresh. We have talked about the dry indehiscent fruits which do not spread, And we have seen examples of fruits like the urchin, where we have the sunflower that is made up of one seed surrounded by a dry pericarp. We have talked about the nuts that have got a pericarp which is very hard and rough. And then we have talked about the Colopsis, where we find maize. We've talked of Chipsela, where we find the Biden pilosas, and then we also talked about the Samara, which has a pericarp that extended to form a wing. Next time when we come back, we are going to talk about the dry dehiscent fruit. Thank you.